Some of you may have heard of Bhutan. I think apart from Steve Reiner here, who's been there, I think most of you have been asking me about the place. So I'm going to quickly run through, give you a bit of the background so you understand why we're starting media literacy there. We made headlines last year by becoming, as Marcy said, the world's newest democracy. Bhutan also crowned the world's youngest king in 2008, and the fourth king ended 100 years of monarchy. The monarchy is very young, 100 years of monarchy by handing over power to his people. Bhutan is a, whoops, let me show you this. It's a very rugged mountainous country. We're on the eastern end of the Himalayas, and where communications has always been very difficult. We have villages that are scattered all over. We have 20 districts, and we actually have, because it's so isolated, we have, for example, clusters, villages of 10 to 12 houses, just in one remote corner. And we also have groups of small areas with their own language because they've always lived so separate from one another. So very quickly, in fact, yesterday I was amazed to learn that there are more listeners to National Public Radio than we have people in Bhutan. We have 1 million people, or a bit less. We are wedged between China and India, which is home to almost 2/5 of mankind. Most of the people in Bhutan are farmers. It's an agrarian economy. 54% literacy, and in terms of development, modern development as we know it, Bhutan opened up to the world only in 1960s. The first main highway joining Bhutan to India was built in 1961. So, and along with the new democracy, Bhutan signed a constitution last year in July. So this is a picture of the fourth king who retired at 54 and crowning the current king, the fifth king of Bhutan, who's 28. And of course, the other picture is the day of our elections. That's March 24th last year, so we're barely a year old. And then to give you an idea of the kind of environment that media works in Bhutan, some of you may have heard of this. Is GNH, or Gross National Happiness, is Bhutan's development philosophy. Now, this is a philosophy that's becoming better known outside, but many people misunderstand it. GNH is not a promise by the government to make people happy. Basically, the idea is that the role of government is to create an environment in which people can find their own happiness. So the government has developed 4 sort of main pillars. As you can see, socioeconomic development, environmental conservation is important. They emphasize culture and tradition, as well as good governance. And under good governance, right, democracy is just the means to good governance, which will create the environment for happiness. So it's not the means to an end, right? It's not the end itself, I mean. And media is also very crucial in governance.